Peppa Pig. Peppa meets Kylie Kangaroo. It is a lovely sunny day, and Mr. and Mrs. Kangaroo have come to visit Mummy and Daddy Pig. "G'day, Mr. Pig," says Mr. Kangaroo. "We met at the airport a while ago, and you said we could visit, remember?" "Did I?" replies Daddy Pig, a bit confused. "We didn't have Kylie or Joey back then," adds Mrs. Kangaroo. "Say hello, kids."
"Hello, I'm Kylie Kangaroo,"
says Kylie.
"I'm Peppa Pig,"
snorts Peppa.
"and this is my little brother George." "This is my little brother Joey,"
says Kylie, pointing at Mrs. Kangaroo. Joey lives in Mrs. Kangaroo's pocket. He peeks his head out and surprises everyone. Laugh Peppa and George. Mr. Kangaroo asks Daddy Pig if he's hungry. "I'm always hungry," replies Daddy Pig, rubbing his belly. "No worries," says Mr. Kangaroo, getting out the barbecue. "We'll make lunch for everyone." "Do you like corn on the cob?" asks Mrs. Kangaroo. "Yummy," say Mummy and Daddy Pig. "Let's hope it doesn't rain," says Daddy Pig. "It always rains when we have a barbecue." While lunch is cooking, Peppa and George want to jump up and down in muddy puddles, but they can't find any.
"We can still do jumping," says Peppa. "What's this?"
Peppa jumps as high as she can.
"Now you try, Kylie,"
she says. Kylie jumps high into the air.
"I like jumping too,"
she says.
"Whee!"
"Wow!" gasp Peppa and George, amazed. Kangaroos can jump very high.
"We're playing jumping,"
says Peppa when Rebecca Rabbit arrives.
"What's this?"
squeaks Rebecca, jumping as high as she can. Peppa asks Kylie to show Rebecca how high she can jump.
"Wow!"
gasped Rebecca, watching Kylie spring up into the air. Pedro Pony bounces into the garden on his space hopper.
"Kylie can jump higher than that,"
says Peppa.
"Show him, Kylie."
"Wow!" gasped Pedro, watching Kylie leap up into the air. Kylie is the best at jumping because she's a kangaroo. "Food's ready!" calls Mr. Kangaroo. But just as they are about to eat, it starts to rain. "Oh dear," sighs Daddy Pig. "No worries," says Mr. Kangaroo, putting up a huge umbrella. "The rain makes eating outside more fun." After they finish their corn, the rain stops and the sun comes out again.
"The rain makes lots of muddy puddles too,"
says Peppa, jumping up and down.
"Wow!"
gasped Kylie.
"That looks really fun. Can we try it as well?"
Everyone joins Peppa and they all make a giant muddy puddle.
"I'm the best at jumping because I'm a kangaroo," says Kylie. "But Peppa is the best at jumping up and down in muddy puddles."
The end. Peppa Pig, George's new dinosaur. George's favourite toy is Mr. Dinosaur. George likes bouncing Mr. Dinosaur in the garden, playing with him at bath time, and he loves going to sleep with Mr. Dinosaur beside him. At bedtime, Peppa says,
George, I think Mr. Dinosaur is broken.
George is very upset. Mummy and Daddy Pig come in to see why George is crying. Cries George. Poor George, says Daddy Pig. Maybe it's time we got you a new dinosaur. The next day, Peppa, George, Mummy and Daddy Pig visit Mr. Fox's shop. I'm sure we'll find a lovely dinosaur here, George, says Mummy Pig. Look, George, says Daddy Pig, pointing to the shop window. There's a big one.
Oh, dinosaur,
says George. Good morning, beams Mr. Fox. Can I help you? We'd like to buy the dinosaur in the window, please, says Daddy Pig. Good choice, says Mr. Fox. This is Dino Raw. He walks, he talks, and he sings. Wow, says everyone.
Dino Roar,
says George excitedly. We'll take it, says Daddy Pig. George is playing with Dino Roar in the garden. Dino Roar sings, Dino Roar, listen to Dino Roar, roar! Careful, George, says Daddy Pig. Don't play too roughly because Dino Roar will get broken. George wants to play with Dino Roar in the bath.
Dino Roar,
says George. But Mummy Pig says, George, if you get Dino Roar wet, he'll stop working. Peppa and George are asleep in bed, but suddenly Dino Roar comes to life. Roar! Dino Roar! Dino Roar! George, says Peppa,
Dino Roar has woken me up.
Maybe Dino Roar should sleep somewhere else, says Daddy Pig, taking Dino Roar away. George is feeling sad. He cannot play with Dino Roar in the garden, or the bath, or even in bed. Never mind, George, says Mummy Pig brightly. Dino Roar can still roar. Dino Roar, listen to Dino Roar. Oh. Dino Roar stops walking and talking completely. I think the batteries must have run out, says Mummy Pig. Already? How many are there? Grumbles Daddy Pig as batteries pour out of Dino Roar.
Hundreds and thousands,
cries Peppa as she picks him up. Peppa spots something green under a bush.
What's this?
Says Peppa.
Is it a trumpet?
You found Mr. Dinosaur's tail, says Mummy Pig. Now Daddy Pig can mend him. He might be a bit difficult to mend, says Daddy Pig doubtfully. But the tail slips perfectly into place. Daddy Pig has mended Mr. Dinosaur. Ho, 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 chuckles Daddy Pig.
Hello, Mr. Dinosaur, says Peppa.
Arr, replies George. Everybody laughs. Mr. Dinosaur is George's favourite toy in the whole world. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's first glasses. Peppa and George are outside playing with their friend Pedro Pony. They are busy jumping in muddy puddles. Splash, splosh, splish. Ha 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 ha. Peppa giggles as she jumps up and down.
Ah! Oh!
Pedro exclaims as he slips into a puddle and falls over. His glasses fly high into the air and land on the grass.
Where are my glasses?
Pedro asks Peppa and George, stumbling about. Pedro can't see very well without them. Peppa and George look for Pedro's glasses. George quickly finds them and then tries them on.
Silly George,
Peppa says. She takes the glasses and gives them back to Pedro.
Here they are. Thank you,
says Pedro as he puts them on.
Pedro, why do you wear glasses?
Peppa asks.
I need to,
replies Pedro.
My daddy said so. He's an optician. What's an optician?
Peppa wonders. Pedro explains.
An optician checks that you can see clearly. He does an eye test. Shall I give you an eye test?
Pedro asks Peppa. Peppa agrees and Pedro leans in close.
Interesting,
he says, rubbing his chin.
Close one eye and say what you can see. I can see George,
Peppa says. George snorts.
Now close both eyes,
Pedro instructs Peppa. Peppa closes both her eyes.
I can't see anything,
Peppa says.
Can't see anything. Very, very interesting,
Pedro says.
I think you need glasses.
Soon it is Pedro's home time. He waves goodbye to his friends and goes home with his mum. Peppa and George go inside.
Pedro gave me an eye test and I need glasses,
says Peppa.
When I closed my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
No one can see anything with their eyes closed, Mummy Pig explains.
But,
Peppa sighs,
Pedro knows all about glasses.
All right, Peppa, chuckles Daddy Pig. Let's take you to the optician for a proper eye test. Peppa and Mummy Pig are at the optician's. What can I do for you, Mr. Pony? Asks Peppa.
I need an eye test, please,
Peppa replies, jumping up into his special chair. Of course, Mr. Pony says. Put these special glasses on and then look at the chart. Mr. Pony is going to test Peppa's eyes. Can you read these for me, please? Asks Mr. Pony, pointing at some numbers. Peppa says what she sees.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Very good, Mr. Pony says. And now these colours, please.
Red, orange, blue, green, yellow, purple,
says Peppa. Excellent, Mr. Pony says. Mummy Pig helps Peppa to try on some glasses while Mr. Pony checks the test results. Some pairs look a little funny. How about these, Mummy Pig, says to Peppa, holding out some red-hearted shaped glasses.
Wow, I like these ones, Mummy,
says Peppa. They both agree that Peppa looks fantastic in the glasses. Mr. Pony comes back with the results. Good news! Peppa has perfect eyesight.
Oh, so I don't need glasses,
Peppa sighs disappointedly.
But I really wanted some.
Oh, Mr. Pony says, thinking, I suppose you could have some sunglasses. Peppa puts on a pair of red heart-shaped sunglasses.
Fantastic,
Peppa says.
I hope it's sunny every day so I can always wear them.
The end. Happy birthday, Peppa. Once upon a time, It was nearly Peppa's birthday, and she was on the telephone to Susie Sheep.
I'm going to have a party, and Daddy is doing a magic show,
Peppa told Susie excitedly. Ho ho! I hope you don't mind, Daddy, Mummy Pig whispered. I promise, Peppa. Ho ho! Not at all, Daddy Pig replied. Of course, the amazing Mysterio will make an appearance. George was excited too. He loved parties and magic shows. Peppa wanted to start planning her party straight away. She asked Mummy Pig if she could invite all of her friends. Yes, Mummy Pig said, and George can invite some too.
But George's friends are little,
Peppa said. Mummy Pig told Peppa that she could teach George's friends all the party games.
Wow! Oh yes, I am very good at that,
agreed Peppa. Soon it was Peppa's birthday. It was very early in the morning, but Peppa was already wide awake.
Wake up, Daddy, it's my birthday,
Peppa shouted, bouncing on Mummy and Daddy Pig's bed. What time is it? Asked Mummy Pig. Daddy Pig checked. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. By 7 o'clock, everyone was dressed and ready for breakfast. Okay, let's get your birthday started, Mummy Pig said. George passed Peppa her birthday present. Happy birthday, Peppa, Mummy and Daddy Pig said together. George said. Peppa tore off the pretty paper excitedly. It was a pink polka dot doll's dress for Teddy.
Wow! Thank you, everyone,
she cried. Ding dong! Peppa's friends had arrived. Happy birthday, Peppa! Shouted Candy Cat, meow. Susie Sheep, Danny Dog, Rebecca Rabbit, Zoe Zebra, Emily Elephant and Pedro Pony. George's little friends were there too. Squeak! said Richard Rabbit, Edmund Elephant and Zuzu and Zaza Zebra. Peppa explained how to play musical statues to George and his friends.
You have to dance when the music is playing, and when it stops, freeze like a statue.
Click! Danny Dog pressed play on the stereo, but no one moved.
You got to dance,
Peppa called. The little children started to dance. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Click! Danny Pig turned off the stereo. George, Richard, Edmund, Zuzu and Zaza froze.
You're moving, George, Peppa said. You're out.
George cried very loudly. One by one, all of George's friends were out, except for Zaza.
Zaza is the winner,
Emily Elephant announced. Here's your medal, she added, looping the red ribbon around the little zebra's neck.
It's made of real plastic gold,
Candy Cat said.
Meow.
Cried George, Richard, Edmund and Zuzu. They wanted medals too. Daddy Pig hurried in to cheer everyone up with a magic show. Peppa, whispered Daddy Pig, remember to introduce me as the amazing Mysterio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Magic Daddy, said Peppa.
Hooray! The audience cheered and clapped. Magic Daddy took off his top hat and waved a hand over it, ready to perform his first trick.
Wow!
Ta-da! Teddy appeared from Magic Daddy's hat. The children clapped again. For my next trick, I need a helper from the audience, said Magic Daddy. Everyone put their hands up. Magic Daddy chose Susie Sheep. Okay, Susie, here are 3 coloured balls, he said, turning his back and closing his eyes. You have to secretly choose one while I'm not looking. Susie picked up the red ball. Abracadabra, Magic Daddy said. You chose yellow, Magic Daddy guessed. No, said Susie Sheep. Magic Daddy guessed again. You chose blue. No, Susie Sheep said. Magic Daddy had one more guess. You chose red. Yes, Susie Sheep said. Hooray! The children cheered and clapped. Peppa wasn't sure Magic Daddy should have said all 3 colours, but she clapped along anyway. Next, Magic Daddy turned off the lights. Close your eyes. No peeping. Now say the magic word. Abracadabra! The children cried. Open your eyes, cried Magic Daddy, turning the lights back on. The children opened their eyes. Ooh, they gasped. Mummy Pig was holding a delicious-looking cake with 4 candles on it. My banana birthday cake, cried Peppa. Blow the candles out, Peppa, Mummy said. And don't forget to make a wish, Daddy Pig added. Peppa squeezed her eyes shut and wished very hard. Then she blew them all out at once. Hooray! Cheered her friends. Happy birthday, Peppa! Susie Sheep asked her what she'd wished, but Peppa wouldn't tell. She really wanted her birthday wish to come true. And finally, announced Magic Daddy, I have one last trick to amaze you with. Abracadabra! He pulled a present from his top hat and handed it to Peppa. Peppa squealed, tearing off the paper and opening the box. Inside was a beautiful pair of yellow wellies. Right, boots on everyone, Mummy Pig called. All the children ran to the hall to put on their wellies. What's happening? Peppa asked. Why has everyone brought their boots? Peppa, George and their friends followed Mummy Pig out into the garden. Peppa was so excited she couldn't stop skipping. Daddy Pig and George quickly picked up 2 buckets and poured water all over the grass. Surprise! Everyone shouted. Happy birthday, Peppa! Puddles! Hooray! Peppa yelled, leaping in and jumping up and down. My birthday wish came true! Come on, everyone! Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, George, George's friends and Peppa's friends all jumped in. Everyone loves jumping in muddy puddles. This is the best birthday ever! Shouted Peppa. The end. My Mummy and Me. This is Mummy and me. We do everything together. I love doing things with my mummy because she can do anything.
Wow!
Great steering, Mummy. Here are some of our favourite things to do. We love racing downhill together as fast as we possibly can.
Whee! Look out, Peppa!
My mummy is super fast. We love making little craft projects together. And enormous ones too. Just a few more hours and we'll be finished, Peppa. My mummy is super at crafts. We love looking for adventures together, like zooming deep down into caves.
Wow!
And deep down into snow. My mummy is a super adventurer. We love having fun together at soft play. I think her favourite part is the ball pit.
I need a little help, Peppa.
My mummy is super funny. We love dressing up together. We pretend to be lots of incredibly important people. And other things too. My mummy is a super dresser-upper. We love dancing together. We spin around and around and around and fall over. Again and again and again. My mummy is a super dancer. But most of all, we love soaring high over the mountains together. Sometimes even without a plane.
Don't look down, Peppa.
My mummy and me love doing everything together because my mummy is super mummy.
Wow!
The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa gives thanks. It is a lovely sunny morning. Peppa and Susie are having a tea party in the garden.
I brought my teddy to join us,
says Peppa.
Did you bring your owl, Susie?
No, says Susie.
I brought Mr. Super Snuggles. He's the best bear in the world. What does he do?
Peppa asks.
He can sing,
says Susie,
and say I love you, and his eyes light up.
Wow, says Peppa.
My teddy can't do any of those things.
When Peppa gets home, she finds Mummy and Daddy Pig.
I would like a Mr. Super Snuggles, please,
she says. But you have a teddy bear, Peppa, says Mummy Pig.
My teddy is boring,
Peppa snorts.
He can't sing or talk, and his eyes don't light up.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Daddy Pig laughs. Come, Peppa, let me show you something. Daddy Pig shows Peppa a photo album. There are lots of pictures inside.
Wow!
This is when we went camping,
says Peppa.
And to the beach. And on a hot air balloon ride.
And who is in all the pictures with you? asks Daddy Pig.
My teddy!
cries Peppa. Right, says Daddy Pig. You've had Teddy ever since you were a little piggy. That makes him very special. We have to be thankful for the things that we have, says Mummy Pig.
What's thankful?
asks Peppa. It means we're happy for the wonderful things in our life, says Mummy Pig. What are you thankful for, Peppa? Peppa thinks.
My toys.
She runs upstairs. Her room is filled with lots of lovely toys. What else? asks Mummy Pig.
Our house, cries Peppa. I love our house and our car and our garden.
Ho ho, laughs Daddy Pig. Anything else?
Peppa thinks. I know something I'm thankful for, says Mummy Pig. What? asks Peppa. You and George and Daddy Pig, of course, says Mummy Pig. Peppa giggles. I'm thankful for that too. And I'm thankful for Susie Sheep and all my friends, says Peppa. And Granny and Grandpa Pig. Let's call Granny and Grandpa Pig right now, says Mummy Pig. We can invite them to a special dinner. Later that day, Granny and Grandpa Pig arrive. Mummy and Daddy Pig make a delicious dinner for everyone. Peppa and George help set the table. This looks wonderful, says Granny Pig. Thank you for inviting us over.
Peppa, would you like to tell Granny and Grandpa what you learned today? asked Daddy Pig.
Yes, says Peppa. I learned that I'm thankful, and thankful for my toys and our house and my friends. How lovely, says Granny Pig. But most of all, I'm thankful for my family, says Peppa. And my teddy.
Peppa loves being thankful. Everyone loves being thankful, especially when there's so much to be thankful for. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.